All right. So our topic is Prop 47, and the affirmative side's proposition is the results of the November election on California's Proposition 47 should be voided. So just a little background information on what 47 is 47 requires misdemeanor sentences instead of felony for certain drug and property offenses. And these include certain drug abuses, date rape drugs, and theft and property for less than $950. And the fiscal impact is that the state and the county criminal justice savings potentially in the high hundreds of millions of dollars annually. State savings spent on school truancy and dropout prevention, as well as mental health and substance abuse treatment and victim services. So that's just a little bit of background information. And so I have 3 claims, and my claims are, the first one is California prisons will be releasing thousands of potentially harmful and dangerous inmates. The second one is Proposition 47 will not solve the problem with these felons and their intentions behind their felonies. And then 3, voiding Prop 47 and returning to the old standards would help the community be safe and could help those convicted of their crimes as well. So, in my first claim, California prisons will be releasing thousands of potentially harmful inmates. I have 2 propositions with that. And the first is prisons will be releasing, will release those convicted for drug-related crimes, regardless of amount of illegal substances they have. And then 2, releasing prisoners will cause help centers to shut down. So in the first one, prisons will release those convicted for drug-related crimes regardless of the amount of an illegal substance they have. I have an article here by Linda Williams, and she stated that the proposition also made the possession for personal use of methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and other drug substances, irregardless of the quantity, is considered a misdemeanor. So you can have maybe like 1 joint on you, and it'd be a misdemeanor versus like having a ginormous bag full of weed, and that would be a misdemeanor as well. So there are some flaws in Prop 47. And then the next one, releasing prisoners will cause help centers to shut down. Also from Linda Williams, she stated, by converting all simple drug possessions crimes to misdemeanors, some drug rehab programs, especially drug courts, which set aside felony convictions following successful rehab, will likely shut down. This is due to the fact that when inmates get convicted of a felony, sometimes they are appointed a court order rehab, which they have to go to rehab and spend however many days they are appointed there. And it's like out of taxpayers' money, and with no people going into the system, there will be no revenue for the rehab centers, and they will likely shut down. So my second claim is that Proposition 47 will not solve the problem with these felons and their intentions behind their felonies. So Prop 47, my first comment on that is that Prop 47 is flawed because there's a clear threat to society. Also in Prop 47, there's a difference between serious crime and a non-serious crime. So I have an article here, and it states, we understand struggles with addiction where treatment is the better option, but we can only think of one motivation for possession of date date rape drugs. And my second comment is the third strike law will be thrown completely out of the window. And I have an article here that states Proposition 47 also would allow inmates serving felony sentences to apply for resentencing or release, even those with third strike convictions. The legislative analysis says that 40,000 offenders could be affected by these changes, which means that they could apply for, there's offenders in jail right now that under Prop 47, they can now reapply and be seen by a judge again on their crimes. And so my third point is voiding Prop 47 and returning to old standards would help the community be safe and could help those convicted of their crimes. So firstly, what happened before is that we used to classify drugs on a 1 to 5 scale based on like marijuana being a 1 and cocaine being a 5. And so I have a quote on that, and this is from the criminal defense lawyer, and it says, how California classifies controlled dangerous substances. California divides its CDS into 6 schedules. Schedule 1, drugs. Schedule 2, they're all drugs. So the first one is marijuana. The second one is opium or morphine. The third is steroids or any over-the-counter drugs. And then the fourth one is diazepam and zolpidem. And then the last one is cocaine. So then my last point is that mandatory rehabilitation centers do help convicts. So some convicts are, like I said before, they're put into rehab centers. And so I have the quote here from that same article. According to the Justice Research and Statistics Association, the effects of drug rehabilitation versus jail time had positive outcomes in the following areas. There's a 57% of people receiving drug rehab were rearrested within 12-month period, to a 75% rate for those who didn't receive drug rehab. So, in conclusion, Prop 47 should be voided, and we should return to the old standards.